So yes, Fruitvale Superstars, this is the award that you guys won, right? This is the chain, and I'm just wearing it. Not taking all the credit because it's all your credit and your family's credit. So this is your time. So I just want to make sure that I just thank the staff and all the teachers and all the kids for showing up every day as much as you can in this very unusual and unpredictable time. So I think that's all for me. Take it away.
Take it over. Yep. Thank you so much, Ms. Navy. Awesome job by Fruitvale Elementary School. Again, welcome everyone. My name is Misha Kadigasha, and on behalf of Oakland Unified School District, also on behalf of our network attendance liaisons, Mr. Curtis Hagan, as well for Network 4, I'm excited to bring everyone together to honor and recognize the hard work and dedication by the Fruitvale Elementary School students and staff. Fruitvale Elementary participated in OUSD's district and citywide attendance campaign for the month of December, which was School and Family Connections. The purpose was to ensure that we stay connected, especially when we were going to be apart from each other for winter break, and even given the complexities and challenges as we try to navigate through this pandemic. We know that the more we are connected, the more that we want to support and uplift each other, and the impacts of our ability and desire to want to attend school. Fruitvale staff engage with specific opportunities to stay connected with their students and families. Fruitvale had the lowest number of unverified absences in the whole district. That means Fruitvale staff were continuously staying connected with families of the students who were out. This helps build relationships and trust and importance, which helps a student want to return to school as soon as they are healthy enough to do so. Despite the complex challenges that a worldwide pandemic has brought to our communities, the staff, students, and families at Fruitvale continue to push themselves to unprecedented areas. And that helps more students want to come to school and attend school every day. In fact, the month of December was the month of November was the second highest month of attendance percentage of the year for Fruitvale. Our special guest to present this award is Oakland's very own Jessie Byrd. Mr. Byrd is a renowned author of children and adult books, including his award-winning book, King Penguin. He recently was elected to the Board of National Public Radio, or NPR. Mr. Byrd has performed storytime telling for over 20,000 kids in over a dozen countries. And I believe since seeing Mr. Byrd last year at Martin Luther King Elementary School, he also may have 2 new books out as well.
My name is Jessie Bird. That's Bird with a Y. I'm from Oakland, California, and I'm a storyteller as well as a designer. Something most people don't know about me is that I like to collect hats from the places my wife and I are fortunate to visit. My dream is to actually have an international haberdashery where I can dress my kids in all of these hats from different countries that are native to different countries and embarrass my wife in public by wearing them to restaurants and things like that. My novel, King Penguin, has won awards at both the Paris and Los Angeles Book Festival, placing top 5 in its category of middle grade novels. My hobbies as a kid, basketball. I love playing basketball. Football, love playing football as well. Video games for sure. Love playing video games as a kid. Still do. Chess. I would lose a lot, but when I did win, it felt really, really good. Last but not least, definitely reading. It was one of the things, if I wasn't in front of a TV screen, it's probably reading a book, and that's where you could find me indoors. My next project is a picture book about a girl named Martine who's growing up in New Orleans. And she lives in this beautiful Afro-French community that's just been hit by tough times. And she comes and offers some really great perspective and insight to help the community get back on their feet. It's been an adventure getting to know Martine. I think she's a really special young lady. She's been full of surprises for me, and I can't wait for you to meet her too.
Awesome. Mr. Byrd, thank you for giving us a little insight into what you do and who you are and what you bring to the students in this country and this world. With that, as I said, I would like to welcome Mr. Byrd and have him recognize and congratulate Principal Stovall, along with Fruitvale attendance team. That includes community school manager, Ms. Salnavi, and attendance specialist, Ms. Popov, This team meets faithfully every week and even over the summer to help and create and implement an attendance plans that helps you all get to school more often. And with that, Mr. Bird, if you can present and welcome Fruitvale Elementary and Ms. Navy.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for that introduction, Misha. Congratulations to the Fruitvale Elementary family on winning the December attendance award. This is a major, major deal. This is a big deal, and I am so proud of you for achieving this. This is the first step in many, many great accomplishments that you've already done and that you will do in the future. As Misha shared, my name is Jessie Bird. I make up stories for a living. That's my job. I just make stuff up and see if people like it. And so if that's something you're interested in as well, if you like making up stories, specifically, I'm a writer, so I work on the word side of things, not necessarily the drawing side of things. Behind me is one of the stories that I was lucky enough to make last year with a player who used to play for the Golden State Warriors. His name is Baron Davis, and we made a book together, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And so that's pretty much me and what I do, and I absolutely love doing it. I grew up in Oakland, went to St. Leo's and St. Louis Bertrand, which is now shut down. But yeah, I absolutely love Oakland, and I can't wait to come back and read to you all again. There's so many new books that I have to read to you, and so much artwork that I want to show you from artists from all over the world that we make these books with. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll get a chance to sync up when it's safe.
Thank you much, Mr. Bird. Ms. Navy, anything else? I know you kind of shared your appreciations for the students and staff at the beginning. Any other words before we jump into questions? You're on mute. Yep.
No, I just want to again just thank everybody. Especially I want to give a shout out to Miss Popoff, because even though I facilitate the attendance stuff, she's the one really doing all the hard work around it. So I just want to really appreciate her. She goes above and beyond, and I really couldn't do it without her. So thank you, Miss Popoff. I just want to thank all the teachers, because this has just been extremely rough. So I want to give a shout out to them, and just again shouting out the students. We know this is not like a regular typical school year, so coming, showing up, and doing what they need to do in the classroom. So I just want to appreciate them. Also, I'll give a shout out to the leadership team, Mr. Stovall, Miss Angela, and Mr. Wally.
Awesome. Thank you for those words. Also, just very impressed. Part of having quality attendance is also staying healthy. And as I look on the Zoom and seeing all the classrooms and all the kids masked up and safely, appreciate you all taking care of each other and trying to stay as healthy as possible during this time. So ultimately, more kids can come to school more often. Great job. All right, I'm going to ask about 3 questions for Mr. Bird, and then we're going to turn it over to the students and staff at Fruitvale to also ask Mr. Bird questions as well. So one of the first 3 questions that I have is, what does showing up every day mean to you, Mr. Bird?
Yes, showing up every day for me really means leaning in with intention. It means trying to pay attention as well, giving your all, because what you give is what you can expect to receive as well. So really it's you who you're pouring into. And so for me, showing up is super important, because it's really the first step in growing and getting better at something, is that you have to be present and you have to try.
So thank you. And we even have to do that as adults too, as well, not just kids. So thank you for that. If you could have a conversation with your elementary school self back at St. Leo's, what advice or encouragement would you give yourself?
I would tell myself to don't be afraid to explore. Try new things, try different things, try things that you may not even think that you would necessarily like, because all of that exposure, all of those skill sets, all of those different things just helps you round out what you're passionate about, what you like, what you love doing. And then the things that maybe you're not so passionate about. And that's good to know too. It's okay to know what doesn't light you up as well as what does. And so I would tell my younger self to just try more stuff, pick up an instrument, try a sport that you may not necessarily, don't only do the things that you feel like you're good at. Try some things that you're not good at too, just to see how it goes and see what you can learn.
Awesome. Thank you. Is there a specific subject, moment, or person in elementary school that helped you shape who you are today?
Yes, my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Allen. She was just a ball of energy. And I'll never forget, she actually taught me how to properly spell the words Louisiana and Mississippi. And beyond that, she was so excited about teaching that it made us excited to learn. You could just feel the electricity coming off of her, and she always thought that we could achieve more and better. So she pushed us to those higher standards. So, you know, the teachers that really believe in you and believe that you can do more than what you're doing can be very positive influences in your life when they do it with love and support and consideration. So yeah, Mrs. Allen was a huge deal for me in terms of loving learning.
Big shout out to Miss Allen. And I know we all have had those experiences and thankful for those opportunities from our teachers growing up. So thank you, teachers, for providing those for all of us. Thank you, Mr. Bird, for your reflection on my 3 questions. Ms. Soneve, if you want to, either call on kids or you have questions that already you guys have submitted, if you want to go ahead and take over from here for questions from Mr. Bird.
Okay. I know that from Miss Linda's class, you just put in the chat, Carter wants to know what the author's favorite book is. So if you could answer that.
Ooh, my favorite book. That's such a good question. So the book that really inspired me to start making books is a book called The Phantom Toll Booth, written by Norton Juster. And the reason why is because I did not know up until that point that books could be both silly and have something meaningful to say at the same time. I had only read books that were either silly or had something serious that it wanted to share with you. I didn't know you could do both. And once I found out you could do both, I was like, I want to do that. I want to do silly stuff with substance.
Say good morning, congratulations, Fruitvale Superstars, and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming today. It means a lot to our school. Just, I appreciate it. And here's Jamila.
Good morning. My name is Jamila.
Hey, what's up, Jamila?
My question is, how long have you been writing books?
Ooh, I've been writing books for almost 11 years. Yeah, so I've been writing books for a long time, but when it's a children's picture book, like the book you see behind me, which is mostly what I write, it's not just the writing, it's the art, it's choosing what type of font is going to go into the book. So there's color theory, it's a lot of things that go into making the book outside of the words. And so sometimes it'll only take maybe 4, 8, 12 weeks to write the words, but then you got to figure out all the rest of the art and how that's going to work together to make a book that that you're proud of. So yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. I see that Mofid from Ms. Buko's class has a question. Go for it, Mofid.
Good morning, everyone. Let's go, Mufid. Hi, Mufid. Introduce yourself.
My name is Mufid, and
Louder.
I wanted to know what your favorite book that you made was.
Ooh, that's a great question, Mofid. What's my favorite book that I made? So I kind of see the books that I'm lucky enough to work on almost like flavors of ice cream sometimes. Sometimes I'm in the mood for vanilla. Sometimes I want strawberry. If I'm going to Fenton's, it'll be a Rocky Road milkshake. And so it's really based on what type of story I'm into. For example, one of the books that I had a chance to work on is kind of spooky. So do I want a spooky, funny story? Do I want a story that's kind of warm and fuzzy and heartfelt? Do I want a story that's action-packed and adventurous? It's kind of like picking a TV show or a movie to watch. What type of movie are you in the mood for? So that's always the toughest question for me, because it really just depends on what I'm feeling at that time. Because they're all so very different. They're so very different.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. I'm trying to go. AJ from Miss Harena's class would like to know how many books you have written.
Ooh, so I've written 6 books so far. By the end of this year, it may be 9 books that I've done. So yeah, and I love it. There are about 18 more books that I can't wait to get to, ideas that I haven't yet started writing yet, that I'm excited to get to, but they have to sort of wait their turn, because you can only work on so many things at one time with quality. So 6 so far.
Okay, thank you. That's a lot. Nasir would like to ask, how do you know what to write?
That is a very, very good question in storytelling, where we say showing is better than telling. And that is something we pride ourselves on, because you don't want to tell the audience what to do, think, feel. You want to show them things and allow them to come to their own conclusion. So I'm going to show you where some of my stories have come from. Nice, co-host, thank you so much. All right, here we go. Boom. All right. So some of the story ideas that have come up have come literally just from traveling and seeing new things, new places, going places, getting to meet different animals, different people, different cultures. Right now I'm in Mexico City. So I'm gonna go see the Mayan pyramids a little bit later, that are here a little bit outside of Mexico City. And having these experiences sometimes inspires the story. You'll just have a life experience that you want to write about, or that made you laugh, or that made you sad, or that made you think or realize something new. And then from there, this is in Kenya, by the way. This is a place called Giraffe Manor, where you get to hang out with the giraffes. You get to even kiss a giraffe. Raise your hand if you would kiss a giraffe. Let me see how many people would kiss a giraffe. How many folks are down? All right, I see a few. Okay, I will admit it's slimy. It is a very slimy experience. But they have some of the cleanest tongues in nature. They have something called an antiseptic on their tongue, which means if you had a cut or a wound, they could lick it and actually help clean it. So a lot of my story ideas, this is a jaguar in Belize that I got to meet. A lot of my story ideas, elephants in Thailand, come from seeing different things and just experiencing different things. Even if it's small in your own community, in your own neighborhood, sometimes I'll just see an ant trying to cross a sidewalk, and I'll think like, what is the ant thinking or feeling? Is it running from something? Is it running to something? Is it scared? Is it in love? All of these different things. So it doesn't have to be somewhere far, far away. Stories can come from anywhere. Just tune into that frequency and just ask questions about your environment.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I'm gonna, I know Miss Angela has a question she wanted to ask, so go for it, Miss Angela.
Hi, I wanted to know where would be the best and easiest way to find your books, like all of them together in one place that we could check them out.
Yeah, no, directly would be best. That way I can sign them for you. So you can go to the website, jessiebcreative.com, or you can just email me directly and we can just set it up. That way I can get you all a signed full collection for the school.
So you can put the email and the website in the chat, and we will definitely.
What do you do after you write books?
Ooh, so in terms of the book itself, after the book is written and it's illustrated, which is the drawings that you see behind me, it goes off to the printer to be printed and bound, and then it goes out to the folks to read it. For me, in my daily life, after I'm finished writing, that's when I have to usually do some business stuff. There's two sides. There's storytelling, and there's story selling. So there's two sides of the coin if you want to make it like your career. And so then I usually have to put on my business hat and start talking to people, meeting with people. Sometimes I do something called a consultation, where other people want to write a book and I want to help them write their book. And so I try to share anything that I've learned and any resources that I have to help them get their story out there. Because so many people have amazing story ideas. And so I want to help them too. And so that's part of what I do too after I put down the pen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, okay. This is the last children's question. And then actually, Miss Harena, I'm gonna ask you, putting you on the spot. After we answer this question, I'm gonna ask Miss Harena a question. Isaiah from Miss Harena's class wants to know how many books you read in a year.
Ooh, how many books I read in a year? So because I write children's picture books, I try to read a lot of children's picture books. So I can read anywhere from 50 to 60 children's picture books. Those books aren't very long. And then the longer books, the novels, the middle grade stuff like that, I usually try to do anywhere from 12 to 20 of those, the self-help, the adult book stuff. But I read a lot of kids books because that's what I write, and I want to learn from other people who do what I do. Maybe there's something there's always things I can be doing better, and there are probably things that they're doing that I can pick up on and probably learn how to be better in my own craft. So yeah, that's
to a minute. Ms. Harena, how did you stay connected to your students and your families in the week of or the month of December?
We planned a lot of fun activities for December, so we would be excited to come to school. We celebrated the winter solstice, and we made gingerbread houses, and we watched a movie. So
nice, thank you. Miss Ong, how did you, I'll answer, I'll have Jessie answer the question. Nasir from Ms. Ong's class wants to know if you've ever given up on writing. If you've ever given up on it.
I love that question. I was actually just answering in the chat, and I'm glad I get to I'm glad we get to chat about it here. Writing has not always been easy. And I think anything worthwhile will have its challenges and its hardships. But I can honestly say that writing has always been a part of me. It's a part of my skin. It's a part of my heartbeat. And so I can say that I've never given up on writing, even when it's been hard, because it's something that I love to do. If money wasn't a concept, if there was no such thing as money, I would probably spend my time here on earth telling stories and figuring out how to tell better stories, because I think they connect us. I think they help us understand things, and I think they help us empathize and feel for each other a little bit differently when we can see somebody else's experience that isn't like ours. So I love storytelling. I've never given up on it, but it has been hard at times. I will tell you that it has been a challenge, and I want you to know that there are mountains to climb in anything that you want to do, that you love doing, that you're passionate about. But the love of it and the passion for it can drive you forward and can push you through.
Okay, thank you for that. Ms. Ong, what did you do to stay connected in the month of December to your students and families?
I think similarly to Ms. Harena, I worked on trying to build fun things to do in class, but also working on our classroom community and trying to make every student feel valued and cared for here at school.
What did you do to stay connected in December? Putting you on the spot. Wait, is Ms. Oakes here?
Yeah, I am. I had to figure out how to unmute myself. We, like Ms. Harena's class, we did graham cracker houses, and we did some fun activities during the month.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other teachers, would you like to answer that question real quick? I see we only have, well, we're 1 minute over. So any other teachers, would you like to answer that question? I don't want anybody to feel left out.
My students write letters. We almost every day. I'm Mrs. Bulko, and I teach 2nd and 3rd grade at Fruitvale Elementary School. And my students love to write, the same like Mrs. Bulko does. Every single day during this December school days, we would read one Christmas story related to Christmas, and we also wrote letters to Santa. Each of my students wrote a letter to Santa, and it was really beautiful. We read the letters and shared our ideas and celebrated our upcoming Christmas time and the winter break as well. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This has been quite enjoyable, but what we did and what we always do to connect to families is we like to build community within our class. And much like Ms. Ong said, we want to make everyone feel valued and that they're important and loved. So that's what we did. We do always, and in the month of December.
Very much for coming. I appreciate you guys for taking your time out to come to our celebration. I want to give a shout out to Allie and David, two of my favorite people came. So yeah, and I think that's all. We also have 2 authors on our staff. Miss Tyler is an author, and Miss Owens Tucker is an author too. So give them a little shout out, little shameless plug. And that's all for me. I don't know where we go from here, Misha.
I'll close it out. Awesome job, Fruitvale Elementary staff, students, families. Thank you also Central Partners Network Attendance Liaisons, Sheila, for all of your support with attendance work, David, Ali. And with that, once again, I'd like to congratulate the entire Fruitvale community, especially the students and staff who work so hard at attending school every day. Thank you, Mr. Bird, for representing today. And with all of that, please have a safe, healthy, and supportive weekend. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Bird.
Of course, thank you. Congrats again. Congrats, Fruitvale.
Tell your mom I said hi.
I will.
Congratulations, Fruitvale School. Thank you, Misha. This was fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it.
Great job. Take care, everybody.
Okay.